Hey guys, buenos dias. Welcome back to another video of Mike in Mexico. I'm actually over here in este lado getting ready to start work. Didn't have such a great start to my day. I did spend 2 hours in line at Chaparral because I got there late. 9:15 is late for me, but I wanted to work out in the morning. And it's the thing about crossing the line, guys, it's really hard to predict. And I think that around this time people are going to be crossing over more at Chaparral because it's close to Christmas, and when you cross from Tijuana into San Isidro at Chaparral, you end up right in the Las Americas outlets. That's why there's a lot of people crossing right now. So you best believe I will be crossing way early tomorrow. I plan to get up at 5:30, not even shower and go. But anyway, getting back to my video today. So guys, I want you to think about all your bills and if you could possibly downsize everything that you have, kind of cut off all the unnecessary stuff and move to Tijuana. And would that make your life better? I'm actually in the process of doing that right now, guys. I've downsized a lot since I've moved over here, but I'm doing some more of that because I don't really want to spend 7 days a week working to cover unnecessary bills. You understand? You know, I gotta hear my notes. How much of your time are you trading for money? You ever think about that, guys? Specifically, you guys that are in my age bracket, Generation X, 48, 49, 50. Right now in your life, how much of your time are you trading for money? And is it worth it? Would it be best to work a little bit less and have more time to do the things that you like to do? Maybe unexplored hobbies. Those of you that have children, maybe spending more time with your loved ones. Would that be a better use of time? Because as for myself, I mean, I don't have children, but I value my time so much more now. And these past 2 weeks, I've been, realizing that I really just want even more time than I have now, than just the 1 day off on Sunday to make a video for you guys from home. I couldn't even do that last week, okay? And I'm looking at my expenses now, and I'm planning to cut even more because I want more time at my age. You never know, guys. You never know. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I was watching a video the other morning that said 80% of workers hate their job. They're just going to a job. That means I'm definitely in that group, but you guys are just going to work to grind and planning for a future that may possibly not even come. If you guys made a list of your bills, you're going to have to take a really realistic, long, deep look at yourself, okay? You have to be really honest with yourself, but what could you cut, First thing to cut when I was in LA planning to come to Tijuana was my Crunch membership. Close to home, and I love running on the treadmill, but could I get the same workout doing Navy SEAL burpees at home? Yes. So I cut it. Do I miss it? No. Now I'm looking at other expenses to cut, okay? There are some things that if they enliven your life, you have to make a decision as to whether this is an essential part of your life or not. For someone like me, Jiu-jitsu is an essential part of my life. I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what anyone says, okay? I know I got a bunch of injuries and I don't care. It's such a vital part of my life. As long as I'm being a rideshare driver, I'm going to train over here. Okay. I train at Studio 540 in Solana Beach. It's the greatest jiu-jitsu gym I've ever been to. It's the environment. Okay. It's the people there. There's no ego. Okay. Can't say enough good things about that place. It is $197 a month. As you guys that train jiu-jitsu, you know it can get pricey. I'm not willing to give that up. Okay. That's actually a vital part to my health. Not just physically, but mentally. It relieves so much stress. Okay. I'm always telling people when I get to have a conversation about jiu-jitsu in my car that, man, you know, and I'm only, you know, rolling once, or I was rolling twice a week, but I have a bad neck injury, and every time I go, it's like taking a gigantic dump. And the rest of the day that I'm working, it's like I'm on a cloud. Okay. At least for not the rest of the day. It lasts about 3 hours. Okay. And if you have something like that in your life, I don't suggest you cut it. But I'm talking about, you know, those of you that are handling maybe 2 vehicles and you can downsize to 1. That's what I'm looking at right now. Okay. Things of that nature. Or maybe you are eating out every single day. Can you cut that? Can you start cooking and packing your lunch? Are you going to save money? Because let me tell you something, guys. If you can downsize as much as you can and move to Tijuana, find an apartment, 1-bedroom apartment for $450, $500, and cross the line to work, how much better is your life going to be? How much less stress are you going to have? Okay. Everybody's in a different situation. All right. Because let me tell you something about Tijuana. It's not a fancy place. Okay. It's not a fancy place. You will do well if you're a minimalist. Okay. If you're a minimalist and you are at that point in life, like I am, where you understand that if you have less, you actually feel more free, you're going to do well in Tijuana. Because the thing about Tijuana is that it's not a fancy place, okay? The roads are not necessarily organized, and la gente en otro lado, they tell me all the time, and these are people that were born in Tijuana. They're from Tijuana. Like my Uber driver lady the other day, she says, you know, Tijuana is not such a beautiful place. You know, it's not like other places in Mexico, like maybe Guadalajara, Ciudad de Mexico, where they have nice parks, you know, a nice malecón, or, you know, boardwalk, like they have in La Paz, okay, where things are more, a little bit cleaner and more organized. You know, Tijuana is not that type of town. Tijuana is kind of a transient town. When I speak to my Uber drivers, 9 times out of 10, they're not even from Tijuana. They're like, oh, soy de Zacatecas, or soy de Sinaloa, or they're from other states, but everybody converges in Tijuana for work. Okay, and that's what that town is known for. But for you guys and myself, Americans that want a better quality of life, this is your chance to downsize, move to Tijuana, find a cheap apartment, and it gives you the chance to save money. Okay, yeah, crossing the line without sentry can be a hassle. Can you make a habit of getting up early? Okay, at least 5 a.m., you know, and head out to Chaparral that it opens at 6 a.m. You know what? Credit to Border Patrol that runs that line, because it does move quickly, as quick as they can. I feel like the border agents at Chaparral, they really do their best. Although was you know, an abuelita in front of me and myself, we were mad because was one abuelo and one abuelita that just came to the front of the line, and okay, they were old and had bad backs, but he tried to cut in front of me. I stepped in front of him, and La Senora to my right was saying, hey, you know, you can be over here, and people were looking and all that. It happens, guys. Tijuana's not a perfect world, okay? But Generation X, I'm speaking to you guys, whether you're in a bad financial situation in LA like myself, or you know, are newly divorced and you're looking for a fresh start. If you want the chance to save money, okay, and move to Tijuana, you first got to start downsizing everything, you know? I mean, would you rather have, like, I don't know, man, new Jordans or something that are like $150, or keep wearing the same shoes you have and, you know, be able to save that money for something else? Maybe you got to pay for a new propane tank. Remember, you got to get propane in Tijuana, all right? Hot water is not free. Think about it. What has more value to you? Okay. And also, I mean, I'm not a finance guy, but you want to save up a little bit of a nest egg for yourself in the event of emergencies. Man, we never know when something might happen, when you may need that money. But if you went spending it on, I don't know, man, like a new watch or video games or whatever you guys are spending it on, is that a good use of your money? And these material things that you know, acquire, how long do they keep you happy for? People that have loads and loads and loads of material things and can't seem to stop themselves from buying new things, you got to ask yourself, are you running from something? Is this compensation for maybe a bad feeling you have inside? I'm not a psychologist, but I'm just saying. And we all have, you know, habits that are different. Some people chain smoke. Some people are, you know, drinking every day. I got a bad action figure habit. I grew up in the 80s and I love action figures. But let me tell you something. Every time I buy a new one that I'm looking at it, the last one was Beta Ray Bill by Diamond Select. Fantastic figure. I was like, oh my God, I got to have this thing. And from what I can recall, maybe $35 I paid for an action. Yeah, I'm a grown man. I know. But this is the type of stuff that, you know, I love comic books. You know, I love that world. And when I got it, honestly, I might have looked at it for 10 minutes and set it on the counter, you know, and put it in a kind of a pose by my TV, and that's it. And yeah, I get to look at it every day, but $35? What if I had been in a tight situation and I needed to buy groceries? $35 will buy you groceries for the week in Tijuana. You got to think about these kinds of things. And so what I do to challenge myself now, because I did, and I'll show you guys what I did. I wanted this. Okay. You nerds out there, Skeletor and Mumra, like, put together. I was gonna buy this action figure. I was like, oh my God, that's so dope. But I think it was, from what I can recall, like $40. And I told myself, you know what, that $40 could go to groceries. It could pay my water bill in Tijuana for like 4 months, man. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna challenge myself to draw Skeletor in a pose and make a t-shirt out of it. So at least if I'm drawing it and making a shirt out of it, yeah, right now I use print on demand, so I do have to buy my own t-shirts, but Dasher will give me 50% of it back, of the profit. Okay, haven't bought one of my own shirts in a long time, but then it's like, not only am I advertising my own art, okay, that you guys may like, and sometimes people buy my t-shirts, okay, the one that people seem to buy and I wasn't expecting is a shirt I made for Guadalajara Chivas, the soccer team. Okay, it's on my dashery, guys. I'll put the link on it. Well, not only am I advertising my own art, but it's like I get to wear this action figure or that I drew myself, okay, all around town, and I can wear it over and over. It's almost like I got an action figure with me, my shirt. So my point is, make a list. If you guys are planning to visit Tijuana or you're considering moving here, make a list of your essentials in life. Food, okay, what you're gonna spend for food. Some of your bills. Be better if you had a car that was paid off, okay, and what you have to pay for rent, okay, and account for electricity, water, and a propane tank in Tijuana. And would you be better off having less things to pay for, less things to worry about, and more time in Tijuana? I would be, and that's what I'm working on right now. I'm reevaluating everything that I have, okay, and considering right now, do I really need this? Because, hey, bro, I don't want to be over here driving. And it's not that I don't want to work, okay? I would rather spend more time on my art or making these videos for you guys in order to generate income for myself, because these are the types of things that I love to do. And if I can monetize them and be in Tijuana and not have to be in line 2 hours, and wow, I mean, not only am I going to be doing something that I really enjoy, but I'm not going to be really trading my time for money at a job that I hate. Generation Xers, I really want you to think about this, because right now the time is ripe for you guys to move to Tijuana. And you guys in your comments are asking me, is it safe? Is it safe? Is it safe for you? I know you say there are Americans there. Is it safe for white people? Oh my God, man, there aren't just white Americans there. They're African Americans, okay? I see Asian guys there. Every time I walk to La Tienda by my house, I see another American. And it's because people aren't making it in este lado. Every day I pick people up and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. All my money goes to rent. We only have so much time on this earth, guys. And you got to wonder, the things that you are working to pay right now, are they essential for your life? Are they essential? Are they essential for you to keep living? Okay? Really think about that, because the more you can downsize, and I'm not saying go without the things that you love. Maybe there are some things, maybe you love your subscription to Netflix and you just can't get rid of that for whatever reason. Then keep it, but ask yourself if it's really essential and if it's adding to your life, or is it kind of a quick fix for you to avoid your current situation? Okay, and I'm no psychologist, but man, I don't know how many times I've said this in my videos, but more Americans are gonna move to Tijuana next year, because people are not making it out here, guys. Trust me, I pick people up every day, and I would say the majority, 8 times out of 10, okay, they are not doing well, or they're just getting by. And had a long conversation about all this kinds of stuff with the gentleman that I picked up from CBX yesterday. Okay, drove him and his wife and his young child, back to La Mesa. How you doing, man? If you're out there, if you're watching. Anyway, guys, this video is running up on 20 minutes again. If you downsize, you don't have to be a monk or anything, but if you're able to downsize, okay, get your expenses down, you can live very well in Tijuana right now for $1,000 a month. I'm telling you, okay? But you got to do it now, because the way cost of living is over here right now, I mean, I predict that especially playas, okay, is going to be flooded with Americans very, very soon. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. And, you know, I'm definitely not the only one crossing over here to work and going back. Okay, guys, I got to get my butt on the road now and start picking people up. But que te vaya bien and have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye.